Hello and welcome. In my last video you saw me emptying out one of my compost bins. So now I have a free space to fill with all my newly generated composting items. And here's the things I'm going to start putting in it today. To start with, I have some of the dead material I've been clearing out of the polytunnel from last summer's growing. Old tomato plants, peas, beans, corn stalks, you name it. If it's dead and dry and twiggy, I'm putting it in the compost. Next, move this wheelbarrow out of the way and yet more composting materials out of the polytunnel. Next comes a bucket of kitchen scraps. Not a pretty sight. Cauliflower leaves, banana peel, eggshells, anything from the kitchen that can be composted. All your peelings and tea bags and coffee grounds. If it'll compost, it goes in the kitchen bucket. Now for some old paperwork I no longer need. I haven't even bothered shredding it. I'm just going to scatter it in as it is. I'm also going to add one collecting basket of grass cuttings fresh from the lawn today. The last thing I'm going to top it off with today is a little bit of molehill. So the moles have been busy making molehills, so I'm just going to gather up the hills from maybe 2 or 3 mounds. That is plenty to be putting in the compost. I don't really want to be filling it with lots of soil, but this will add some extra mineral nutrients to the final compost mix. And it's lovely and fine and fluffed up by the moles' hard work. Scattering around the little bit that's left. The rain will wash it into the ground, and I don't leave a big mound that's killing off the grass in this spot, which will leave a blank patch ready for the weeds to germinate. Let's go and get one more. And into the compost bin they go, along with everything else. Was that a duck I just heard? Another fantastic additive is your fallen autumn leaves. So these will be going in as well, usually by the bin bag full. But just an example of the sorts of things you can put into your compost bin. So other things that go into my household compost bucket are the paper packs from sugar or flour, cornflake boxes, anything cardboard or paper based will go into the household compost bucket and get tipped into the compost bin. Occasionally, maybe every 6 months or so, I might add a teacup full of sugar to the compost bin, just sprinkle it on top, a bit of live yogurt or over curdled milk. All add extra microbes and bacterias. Whether they are the right ones, whether they will survive in that environment, I have no idea. But it's all decomposing matter to break down into the soil. And one of the more important ingredients that's maybe a little bit yuck for some of you is I add some pea to the compost. Every now and then for a week I will collect my pea in a bucket and pour it onto the compost. adding valuable nitrogen. I'm not adding chicken poo, rabbit poo, horse manure. I don't have access to these things. So my own pea makes a really good substitute to get some extra nutrition into my finished compost. So for the rest of this year, I will keep piling things into this compost bin. I will fill it to overflowing. Grass clippings, garden weedings, household waste, eggshells, coffee grounds, tea bags, you name it. If it can be composted and broken down, it'll be going into this bin. When it's full to the brim, I will move on to filling my second empty bin. Left for a couple of months, the really full overflowing bin will break down and compost and compact and shrink, leaving more space on top to be filled in yet again. Next year, I will start on 2 new empty bins and just leave this one to carry on doing its thing. So after a year of being constantly refilled and a year of just sitting idle, well, idle as far as I'm concerned, all the worms and microbes are still really busy in there working away. So 2 years from now, I'll be ready to empty this bin of beautiful homemade compost. Exactly the same as you saw in my previous video when I emptied this bin, ready to reuse it this season. So yes, it's a long, slow process, but it doesn't take much work or effort. I'm not digging and turning and mixing and stirring. I just keep throwing it in and let Mother Nature do the rest. Bye for now, and I'll see you next time. If you've enjoyed today's video, click that like button and let me know. Click subscribe and YouTube will make sure you see my next video. Bye for now, and thanks for watching. And remember, whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.